Welcome to Nell Model Railway. I'm John, and in this video I will be weathering my Class 37 Loch. Before I start, I'd just like to thank one of the viewers who advised with regard to the chinchilla sand debacle, and they've suggested sieving the sand to get rid of the dusty element, because it's the dust that creates the cracking and swelling and then shrinking. So thank you very much indeed for that, and I will try that later. So here is Loch. As I said in the last video, I did have a very small go at doing a little bit of minor weathering, just using a bit of panel liner, which you can see. But in this video, I'm going to go the whole hog and weather it to a state where it is ready for a repaint into its newer colours. The first thing I did was to mask all the windows with Humbrol Maskol, which is a latex masking fluid. I also found some images of Class 37s, one in fact of Loch looking sort of clean, and one on the left, a 37 looking rather dirty. So I'm opting to try and achieve something between the two. So after masking the windows, I decided that I would do the snow plow, as it's fairly low down and probably very difficult to get to once I started the weathering process. So I thought, do that, and then other processes will have an effect on it. So I used a Woodland Scenics rusty rail pen to dapple the rust effect, and then I went over it with isopropyl alcohol with cotton bud, just to smear things over. And then hopefully when I came to doing the frame dirt, I would be able to blend it more effectively. As with any new project, it is always best to do some research. And I went onto YouTube and found two very good videos, one weathering using airbrushes and one weathering using MIG oil brushes. The former was Richard at Everard Junction, and I highly recommend watching his videos. And the second was from McKinley, and I've forgotten the name of the young lady who does the weathering on their locos, but she uses oil brushes. So I thought I'd combine the two processes. So here are the oil brushes that I'm using for this project. So basically you add a number of dots of the oil brusher to the area you wish to fade, and then using a soft brush, you'll note that mine is not that soft, but I did change later on to a sable brush, which is much better, and I'd possibly recommend a makeup brush, as they, I think, are a lot softer. Putting blusher on, I think my wife has got one. You then manipulate the paint and just work it continually until it all blends in and you get the faded effect. So that was the first aspect, or the first phase, using the mid-grey. You then move on to using a sky blue to bring out the blue tone, which has been faded by the sun. I will now speed the video up so you get an overall view of the process, but it is, excuse the pun, like watching paint dry. I'm no Steven Spielberg, and unfortunately the camera ran out of battery and I didn't realize it, and I went through the next processes without videoing anything, but I have some photographs of the processes and I'll put some headings in. Okay, in this image, the yellow front doesn't look too dark, but in natural light, it does. So I decided to use cotton bud, some isopropanol alcohol, and gently clean away some of the paint just to bring it back to the yellow as if the front end had been cleaned. In this clip, you can see that I have now added exhaust marks and also some further rusting and weathering, more water that is contaminated as opposed to the engine being rusty, and I've applied those, and that's Humbrol weathering powders. And finally I added the metal lock or nameplates that came with the model and gave it a final spray with a matte varnish before removing the masking over the windows. For my first attempt at weathering a loco, I'm really pretty happy with what I've achieved. Obviously, there are some folk out there who will say it shouldn't have been done like this, it should have been done like that. But I've done it my way, and it's my railway, as a lot of folks say. But if I've made mistakes, I can improve. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for watching, if you managed to get all the way through the video, and hopefully you'll subscribe and come back for more. Remember, the next 3 months is quite a lot going on.